Why do people get involved in extramarital affairs? Why does a man, who once felt his heart melt at the sight of his wife, gradually become indifferent toward her over time? These questions do not belong to one person alone. They silently echo inside countless marriages. Adultery is essentially a secret emotional or physical relationship outside of marriage. It does not happen overnight. It develops slowly through dissatisfaction, monotony, lack of control over one's gaze and desires, and a growing spiritual emptiness. Many people say, "This is normal. How long can someone like the same thing?" But the real question is it truly natural, or do we slowly train our hearts to drift away? Let's imagine the story of a man. His wife is not unattractive. She is simple, gentle, devoted to her home. They have been married for 5 years and have a 3-year-old son. In the early days of marriage, he would rush home after work just to see her. His heart would beat faster with excitement. On holidays, he would spend the entire day with her. They would go out together, laugh, talk endlessly. When he held her hand, it felt like he held the whole world. But time changed. Now, after work, he no longer feels the urge to go home. Instead, he spends time with friends, returns late without reason. Even when he is home, he avoids conversations with his wife. If she speaks, he responds absent-mindedly with or okay. He ignores her calls and messages. At night, if she comes close, he reacts irritably. "Don't bother me. I am tired." But is he truly tired? Or has his heart wandered elsewhere? He realizes that the issue is not physical exhaustion. The real problem is that he no longer feels attracted to his wife. And he is not alone. Many men around him seem to face the same struggle. Some have already entered extramarital affairs. He is not yet, but he feels himself drifting in that direction. When he asks his friends why this happens, they say, "It's normal. Once the newness fades, so does the excitement." But something about that answer does not satisfy him, because he notices something important. Women often do not lose interest the same way. Even after many years of marriage, wives still wait eagerly for their husbands, want to talk, go out together, and maintain intimacy. So why does the change seem more common in men? He begins to wonder, is this a psychological issue? Is there treatment? One day, he secretly visits a psychiatrist. After listening carefully, the doctor asks, "Do you believe in God?" "Yes," he replies. "Then follow one command from God for 1 month." The doctor says, "No medication is needed. You will see the change yourself." The doctor reminds him of a verse from the Quran, advising men to lower their gaze and guard their modesty. In other words, control the eyes and control desire. At first, he doubts. Can it really be that simple? Still, he promises to follow it sincerely for 1 month. As he leaves the clinic, his first test appears. A beautiful young woman walks past him. Instinctively, he begins to stare, but suddenly remembers the command. He lowers his gaze immediately. From that day forward, whether on the streets, at the office, or on social media, he avoids unnecessary glances at women. The first few days are difficult. Restlessness builds inside him. His eyes feel trained to wander. His mind wants to compare. Who looks better? Who is more attractive? He realizes that for years he allowed his gaze to roam freely. That constant exposure to variety created an addiction to novelty. And in comparison, his wife began to feel familiar and ordinary. He realizes the truth. The problem was never his wife. The problem was his gaze. The more he compared, the more restless he became. The more restless he became, the more bored he felt. And boredom slowly killed attraction. The human mind craves novelty. But if the eyes constantly chase new faces and bodies, even the most precious relationship will begin to feel dull. Endless comparison destroys contentment. However, when the gaze is disciplined and the heart focused, even the same person can feel new again. Adultery does not begin with a physical act. It begins with a look, then imagination, then secret conversations, then emotional attachment, finally betrayal. At every stage, a person has the choice to stop. Before completing a month, he returns to the doctor. "It hasn't been a full month yet," the doctor smiles. "The problem is already gone," he replies. He now understands that losing interest was largely due to allowing his eyes and mind to wander without restraint. Once he controlled them, attraction toward his wife returned naturally because his heart was no longer divided. However, another important truth remains. Lowering the gaze alone is not enough. A healthy marriage also requires communication, shared time, appreciation, and gratitude. But controlling the gaze is the first doorway. What the eyes repeatedly see, the mind imagines. What the mind imagines, the body eventually desires. Often, wives invest deeply in their marriages. They compare less and commit more. That is why their emotional attachment tends to remain strong. If husbands invest with equal attention and intention, interest can endure. Adultery is never a permanent source of happiness. It offers temporary excitement, but leaves lasting regret. One careless decision can shatter a child's future, a woman's security, and the peace of an entire family. So again, we ask, what is adultery? It is often the result of uncontrolled vision and unchecked desire. Why does a man lose interest in his wife? Because he allows his heart to scatter elsewhere. What is the solution? Self-restraint, awareness, and renewing attention toward one's spouse. The person who left her home for you, bore your child, stood beside you in hardship. She deserves to be valued. Love does not survive automatically. It must be protected. In the end, he looks up at the sky with gratitude, realizing that protecting his family meant protecting his own heart. This video is a mirror for all men, so they may reflect before it is too late.